you'd like to support this channel, you can check out my Patreon in the description below. Entry 1. Friday, 4:30 p.m. Just my luck that I'd have to deal with this rundown house on top of everything else on my plate. When the lawyer called me saying my aunt had left me this house out in the middle of nowhere, I almost refused the offer. Now that I'm sitting inside it, I wish I had. I'm on the couch in the living room right now, listening to the drip of the rusty pipes and the creak of the walls as the house shifts in the breeze. The entire place gives me the creeps, and the dozens of Catholic pictures and candles covering the walls do nothing to assuage the feeling. I don't know why my aunt would leave it to me, of all people. I'd only met her once in my entire life, after all. Well, I have some idea. When my dad passed away, I was probably her last living blood relative. So she probably looked around and knew no one, so she put me down as the inheritor of her incredible fortune. What a joke. $328 and a house that'll cost me more in property taxes than it's worth on the market. I have my psychology dissertation to prepare for, and I just don't have an extra 10 hours a week to deal with all this. Well, at least I have a place to stay rent-free for a few weeks while I work through selling the property. Entry 2. Saturday, 6 p.m. I pulled down most of the more bizarre religious images in the house today, and started deep cleaning, only to give up after a few hours. This place needs everything replaced. I might just schedule it for demolition, who knows. The house sits a little under a mile from the highway, and I have to walk along the road for about 10 minutes to get up here each time. I could open up the gate and drive, but the road leading up here is made of dirt and gravel. I'm worried about the possibility of getting my car stuck if I try driving it up here, or even worse, scratched. I recorded some of the walk up to the house for my records, and to show any potential buyers, and that's what you've been seeing. Entry 3. Sunday, 11:30 a.m. I think there's an animal problem in this area. Late last night, I heard something knocking at my door. It couldn't be a person, I'm way too far away from the road. When I answered the door, there was nothing there. Soon after, I started hearing tapping noises on my window. It's gotta be something like a raccoon, or worst case, a bear. I had made some pizza in the oven that night, and they probably just smelled it. Probably. I found my aunt's journal in a drawer. It was hard to read because she kept interrupting herself to reference Bible verses. I think she must have had paranoid schizophrenia because she kept referring to verses about protection from evil. She kept rambling on about how she thought she shouldn't leave the house and stuff like that. It's fascinating how the human mind can just fabricate situations like my aunt's. Apparently, she thought that plastering the walls with religious imagery and candles would protect her from some evil force that was after her. Maybe I should find a way to reference it in my dissertation. I wonder if the thesis community would go for that. Entry 4. Sunday, 11 p.m. I saw something outside. I think. I'm writing this from my bed, and my heart is still beating pretty fast. I had opened my front door to throw a bag of trash out, and I saw a figure standing on a hill 100 feet away. It was dark, but I'm sure I saw it. It looked like the silhouette of a woman dressed all in black. She was facing my direction. When it was clear that I had noticed her, she turned around and walked away. What in the world is going on? Why would this woman come all the way out here? Entry 5, Sunday, 3:47 a.m. I think she knew I didn't know about her. She knew I had torn down most of the pictures. She knew something that I didn't know. She came into the house. I woke up to the sound of my front door swinging open violently. I thought it might have been the wind, but the back of my mind flashed to the woman from earlier. I had grabbed my phone to use as a light, but accidentally double-tapped the home button, which opened my camera app. I stumbled into the hallway of the house and walked towards the door. I squeezed the picture button to light up the room with the flash, and saw her for the split second. She was standing in the doorway of the house, head cocked to the side and grinning like a madwoman. She started shambling towards me. I stumbled back and ran out of the back of the house. I ran down the road back to my car, cutting my bare feet on the thorns and rocks, and drove until I reached my friend's place, where I'm typing this, still in my sweatpants. I still have the picture I took of her. If you really want to see what I saw that night, I'll show it to you. Here it is. I'm not going back to that house. Whatever that thing was, I don't want anyone to go near that land ever again. If you'd like to support this channel, you can subscribe below, watch another video, or check out my Patreon in the description. If you'd like to hear another story, you can click on the screen now to hear all about the experiences of a night guard in a Swiss hotel high in the mountains.